All right, welcome to episode 40, or season 2, episode 7, or we don't know what it's at. 40 episodes.
40.
Damn.
It's a lot.
It's a doozy.
It's a lot. That is a lot of episodes.
So many episodes.
There's a lot of episodes on here, I gotta say. Hello,
You've
everyone.
that's a lot of hours of stupid stuff.
How was you guys this week?
Me and Eddie Vedder.
No publicist hitting you up anytime, middle of the night? No? All right.
Me and Eddie Vedder did a taste of Memphis barbecue tour this weekend.
Yeah.
And all the places you guys love, Eddie says it's the worst.
I'm now in a beef with Aerosmith after
literal
he respects you as a barbecue enthusiast, but you're fucking garbage. Your opinion's are crap.
He's a big Central barbecue guy.
Yeah.
Seattle barbecues.
Seattle barbecue.
What happened with you and Aerosmith, Justin?
Oh, we're now in a beef. I spoke about Steven Tyler's feet, and now headlines everywhere.
You disagree with Steven Tyler's feet. So stupid, choices. Man. I woke up the other day to a bunch of texts and emails from people who work for us, and we're like, this is a stupid headline. Ignore the headline. Ignore the headline. Ignore the headline. I'm like, how do you ignore the headline? Like, here's the thing, and I'll fully admit, the reason I don't do press a lot is because there's people use being an asshole as an excuse to say, dude, I don't have a filter, bro. I don't have a filter, bro. I'm just filterless. And they use that. They're an asshole, and they just say that. I actually don't have. There's no mesh wiring that goes from my brain to my mouth that strains out things that I shouldn't say.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah,
there are things you shouldn't say that you say them anyway.
Listen, there's a friend in our friend group that needed a talking to one time, and no one wanted to do it. And I just texted this person everything that they needed. I thought they needed to hear. And it might have been rough, but I think it might have helped the person a little bit. And I just don't, I don't.
Dr. Myers, therapist.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't believe in my heart that I'm an asshole. I do believe that I don't have a filter, and I say what I want to say. Not like John. I'm not going to get arrested for anything I say.
John's filter is different.
John's brain's different. That's why his filter's different.
Yeah.
He bought the less affordable filter.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't.
I don't even have a
screen
filter.
out as good.
I don't even have a filter.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah. I have one. I have one a little bit, but in case you didn't know,
John is like the guy who purposely took the muffler off his car and drives through neighborhoods on purpose.
Yeah,
right.
He's straight piping it, dude.
He's straight piping it
while littering everywhere. Trash out the window.
I just throwing beer cans out the window.
That might be a break this week. There's a lot of littering going on in our city, I feel like. So if you don't know, I woke up the other day to a lot of news headlines and articles saying, and the headline simply just said, Zach Myers vehemently disagrees with 80% of what Eddie Vedder says politically. Which, by the way,
great word.
It's super dumb. But here's the problem with it, right? I was saying was I say a lot of stupid stuff in interviews, right? Like not stupid stuff. I run my mouth. That's just what I do. I would like to read you now the real quote of what I said and how, like, the Eddie Vedder thing, it was a throwaway line. It was literally just like I'm trying to make a point, and I need to project, some sort of definition upon it. That's really all it was. I could have used any other reference, right? But I didn't. So now I'm feuding with one of my favorite singers of one of my favorite bands.
Feuding.
Eddie Vedder doesn't know who I am. I can probably wholeheartedly tell you that. The quote was, which I believe is actually one of the better things I've said in interviews. I said, we live in a society, I said, where everything has to be hardline. I go, listen, I vehemently disagree with 80% of what Eddie Vedder says politically, but that doesn't, and they cut out that doesn't matter. I said, but that doesn't matter. I'm still going to listen to Pearl Jam. I said, we live in a society where if you disagree with someone, for some reason that means you have to you don't respect them and we can't be friends anymore. I go, it doesn't have to be that way, and I don't agree with that. I don't think so. I've enjoyed disagreeing with people because I may learn something from it. That was the quote, which I believe is kind of where we are as a society, right? Like, I feel like that needed to be said, right? Like, we live in this society now where, you're deleting Nana off your Facebook because she likes Donald Trump. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand this thing that we're in. And I'm like, I don't agree. Like, I don't agree with that. Like, if you disagree with someone politically, you don't respect them. Like, I don't follow that logic at all.
No, what you actually said is a pretty reasonable thing to say. Like, it was I was like, oh, okay. And the headline, what's even funny, the headline I read, I think the one that I comment on was like, it's either Zach Myers embarrasses Eddie Vedder or Zach Myers embarrassed by Eddie Vedder. And I was like,
no. Yeah.
And there was nothing in the article that even applied to that.
Whichever one was stupid.
And I found yours. I mean, the one you just said as well. And I was like, what? I mean, it worked.
Oh, there's a lot of them. I'm all over the news.
Brilliant headline writing.
There's not a lot. Secretly, I want him to start feuding with you. But
I do too. How much fun would that be?
He never would, because there's nothing to. Because I think he would agree with you 100%.
Also, and I think he would agree with that too. I think if Eddie Vedder read this article, which there's no way. You know what? He's read it. Someone's read it to him. Someone sent it to him.
At this point, somebody sent it to him.
You know what it's like? You know what that's like? Yeah, because it's everywhere right now. I am all over the news about this. But here's the thing. This was like one time we were doing Download Festival, and I believe this was in like 2010 maybe. And Brent's doing an interview, and he says, they're like, what are some of your favorite bands that you wish would get back together? Oh, this band's got that Rain. We need that Rain sponsorship, bro, even though none of us drink. John would probably drink it.
I'll come on the show just to drink it for the spot.
Drink it for the sponsorship.
Mm-hmm. I'll do your lab read.
So, he's doing an interview, and he asks like what bands he would like to see come back, that maybe weren't around anymore. And he goes, well, actually, he's like, one of my favorite bands is Soundgarden. He goes, I have it on good authority that they will be back. Like, they are getting back together and going to do a tour. This is before they ever got back.
Was Chris already dead?
No. This was 2010. They weren't. They're
getting back like 2018.
Together. No. This was after they had broken up the first time, and this was like 2010. And so that was a very John joke, by the way, that you just made. And so Brent goes, I have it on good authority that they're going to get back together. And like a week later, Ben Shepard from Soundgarden is like a headline. It's like, Ben Shepard slams singer of Shinedown or something. And it's like, it's a text message thread that someone sent in to Blabbermouth, which is like the douchiest thing ever. And it said, hey, do you know who Shinedown is? And then there was like a pause, and it was like, they said that you guys are getting back together. And then Ben Shepard goes, no to whatever band that you're talking about. Never heard of them. And no, we're not getting back together. So listen, Ben Shepard, for sure by that point in time, had heard of our band. There's no way to listen to rock music at that point and not have heard of our band, right? And then to go, no, blah, blah, we're not getting back. This guy's just trying to get press. By the way, 4 months later, they announced they were getting back together. So it's not like it happened like, 2 weeks notice that they got. He knew the whole time. He was just being a douchebag, right? So like, I think Eddie Vedder has definitely read the article, and I would like to believe, having met Eddie Vedder twice, I believe I've met him, that he would not that I had like a long conversation with him. It was very brief, but I would like to believe that he would read that and go, yeah, that's what I've been trying to say for years.
I hope he puts out another ukulele album and it's full of Shinedown diss tracks.
Just not even Shinedown, just towards me.
Just Zach Myers diss tracks.
It's all he makes all B-side Shinedown songs go number one through ukulele.
What a troll, dude. What a troll. That's like the sickest troll move you could ever do. Is take a terrible Shinedown song, right? Take Lady So Divine or Lacerated, and then he covers it, right? Like
ukulele.
On the ukulele, and it goes number one. That's like
Wasn't
Prince
it?
playing the Foo Fighters at the Super Bowl, where you're like, I'm going to show these guys, and then all the Foo Fighters guys were like the most stoked ever that Prince covered their song.
Didn't Prince do that for Chappelle too on an album or something? Use his this?
He released a song called "Breakfast Can Wait," and it was just a picture of Dave Chappelle as Prince holding pancakes. Dave Chappelle goes, yeah, if you like do something for Prince, like if you like make a skit about him and don't ask for his permission, he'll just use you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because not a lot of people know that the Super Bowl thing was meant to be a dig at the Foo Fighters.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, he was not happy that they covered "Darling Nikki."
Really?
All. So it just backfired on him because he starts playing "The Best of You" at the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins said they were doing backflips off their couch.
I was about to say that is like the best thing ever.
I was like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a backfire troll, right?
Yeah,
a backfire troll. And by the way, speaking of things like that, talking about songs, I commented on your Monday Night Concert series last night, and I meant that, by the way. I had the most random thought yesterday. All Star by Smash Mouth came on. Right?
Classic.
For every day, as it comes on every day in your household.
As it comes on every day in my household. My kids don't really listen to that. But
no,
I listen to it. Yeah. So it got to that second verse when he says, somebody once asked, could I spare some change for gas? I need to get myself away from this place. I said, yep. What a concept. I could use a little fuel myself, and we could all use a little change. And I go, if fucking Bob Dylan wrote that, someone would say that was the best Bob Dylan verse he ever wrote. But because this guy looks like Guy Fieri's, cousin.
And he sounds like this.
Yeah. And he does Nazi salutes on stage, apparently. No. Yeah, there was like a video of that. He was hammered.
Oh, where he's drunk.
He was like hammered at a show. Yeah, he quit the band because of it. Said he had a drinking problem. I was thinking about that. Like, I wonder what other songs get like a bad rap because of like who sang them. But if you really like delved into the lyrics, because that is on paper, if you read that verse on paper, you're like, what a fantastic lyric.
Sure. What if like "You're Beautiful" by James Blunt is like, what if Bob Dylan actually penned that song?
Oh my God.
What if Bob Dylan did "Crazy Bitch" by Buckcherry, and everyone's like, oh, this guy's a genius. Hey, I'm a crazy bitch.
Hey, you fuck so good up on top of it. What does Bob Dylan doing "Crazy Bitch" sound like?
That is a great spoof.
Listen, I would love it if you just did a video and put on like a curly wig.
I will. I got the hat.
And just did an entire song straight of Bob Dylan, "Crazy Bitch" in the style of Bob Dylan.
I will. I'll do. You know what I actually thought about last night? I actually thought about
I'll come shoot it on my redoing.
Yeah, I thought about redoing the melody of the verse of All Star last night. I'm dead serious. This is 1:00 in the morning. I'm in bed with my wife. I'm like, I'm gonna come up to the room and play the second verse to All Star, but change how it's sung and just keep the words and go, Bob Dylan's best unreleased song, and then see if anyone even caught on to it because it's so good.
Were you laying on your stomach, Zach? Or
no, it's not. We're not getting back into that. What a dick.
I had another observation. Yesterday, I made like this chicken pot pie stew, kind of whatever. And I went to a rabbit hole looking at recipes for like chilies and shit like that. I have never seen.
Did you just say breastfeeding from Chili's?
Yeah, this Chilean guy. No, I breastfeed off him. It's better than goat milk.
Got it. That's where you got your stew from. Okay.
I'm looking at this recipes for like chili and stews. I have never seen Zach eat a bowl of soup.
That's not
Out of all the times we eat to dinner, I have never seen you outside maybe one French onion soup.
Doesn't he miso or not miso, but what's the other one?
John has seen me drink miso soup at least 80 times.
I'm talking about like an actual
like a meal,
soup.
Like a meal of soup. Yeah, I don't do that a lot.
Oh, like chili.
Yeah, or like a stew. Not like
chicken noodle soup.
Plastic ladle with the chives. Yeah.
I don't do that a lot. You're right. I'll tell you what, man, my wife makes the best like cheesy potato soup I've ever had in my entire life.
Oh, that's the best.
Probably terrible for you because I mean I've seen the amount of butter and cream she puts in it. But dude, it is so good. Like I'm not a cravings guy. I think I've said that before on here. Like, I crave one thing ever, and it's about once a year. Once a year, somewhere, like on a Tuesday, driving down the road, I'm like, I would.
Pussy.
That's the only thing I have ever craved, sadly. What's that thing we used to eat all the time back in the day? Oh yeah, pussy. KFC. It'll be like a Wednesday at 4:00, just not an eating time, right? Not in JR's world.
Certainly not in my eating
not
time.
In JR's world.
That's afternoon snack time.
Yeah. I'll be driving down and go, I would ruin a bucket of original KFC right now. I might eat the fucking bone. I would that's the only thing I ever crave. Ever.
That's your nickname for Bethany, original KFC.
Yeah. I don't know.
What about a double down? Isn't that what they call the word?
I don't know. I've never gotten into the niche menu items at KFC. The gravy
patties,
bowls and all that.
The patties are actually fried chicken breasts.
I just want an original bowl of original bucket of KFC. Dude, one time me and the old Farewell bass player Darren, who ended up working for Shinedown later, we were going down to Sardis for something. And we went to a KFC down there.
Shout out Sardis Lake.
Shout out Sardis Lake. And they were the Ozarks of the South, if you will. They were eating. We wanted fried chicken, and they go, we're out of chicken. And then we were like, all right, can we get some sides? Like, yeah. And like, we get some potato wedges. And the lady goes, Earl, we got tater wedges. And Earl said, we ain't got no tater wedges. So we literally said that for years. For years, if anyone asked for anything, we go, we ain't got no tater wedges. It's one of my favorite things.
John.
John's on his phone.
Where
like he is
John's giving you
podcast.
the half laugh.
No, I'm actually reading the emails that came through. And fuck, man.
Justin, did you get any news today? Did you write any news down to talk about?
No. Am I Paul now?
I have a lot.
Like what happened in the last week?
So much, dude. I have so much to talk about. First off, the thing that I love is this Cain Velasquez thing. If you don't know, Cain Velasquez is a former UFC fighter. I also believe he was in the WWE for a minute, but he was arrested in San Jose last week. And why he was arrested, he was accused of targeting Harry Eugene Guilarte, who was charged with allegedly molesting one of Velasquez's young relatives. And he faces 10 counts and could carry more than 20 years of jail time. Apparently, he led the guy on an 11-mile high-speed chase and then rammed him and then fired a .40 caliber handgun multiple times into the truck. Listen, apparently the guy had two of his relatives in there, which one was like 63, which is not cool. But here's the problem. Everyone keeps like shaming this guy, and I'm like, I don't really see the issue.
Yeah, when you first hear the headline, it's what could have happened that would make a successful guy like that to have an attempted murder charge, and then
why does Cain Velasquez disagree with Eddie Vedder 80% of the time on politics is what I really want to know.
But then you find out it's about molesting a younger relative, and then you're like, oh, well,
I'm pissed off that he missed.
It's one of those times where the criminal justice system didn't work out, rightfully, because this guy was let off without bail. There's witnesses say he did what he did. And for a guy like Cain, any of those UFC fighters that can control their aggression and violence the way they do with just a tap on the shoulder or the ref pulling him apart, just the fight ends.
Most of them are good.
For that guy to continue on and to have that rage, like it's that fatherly, like something happened to your kids, or your daughter, your son. It's like, how are you guys are both going to jail, or at least gonna kill that person if the criminal justice system doesn't get them first. I know you guys. So as a father, what happens is
this plays in your head without, you don't tell people about it, but it does play in your head. I know JR's got a daughter, so like 100% plays in your head, right? When that comes into play, there is no justice system in your head, right? Like in your primal instinct, there is no justice system. You're like, I'm gonna tie this motherfucker to a tree. I'm gonna cut 1,000 tiny cuts in his dick. I'm gonna pour fucking peanut butter all over it. I'm gonna release a fucking bear on his ass. Like I think of everything, right? Like I'm a creative guy. I'm gonna do everything. Yeah. I'm gonna put leeches on his dick. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna do it by hand, no gloves.
I like that.
I'm touching this man's dick is what I'm getting at. Yeah. I'm molesting him now.
I'm individually placing leeches.
It looks like Rambo Part 2.
With my mouth. I'm putting leeches on this guy. Yeah, it's like Rambo, dude. Just dip him down in the mud. I'm with you, man. I think when something like that happens, and those guys, most of the time, those guys are pretty disciplined. You see a couple of them getting, in a bar brawl, and those are the guys that not supposed to be in a bar brawl. Yeah. Also, man, speaking of that, not to get off the subject, but how scary! We live in a world now where, if you got into it with someone and you wanted to fight somebody, you would just whatever, and then but now you got to check and see if they got cauliflower here, bro. You ain't fighting somebody with cauliflower here, dude.
If his hand looks like this, you're probably not going to start grappling with him.
Yeah. No, dude, it's scary to fight folks nowadays because you don't know who they are.
There's too many options on trained martial artists.
Yeah, it's too many. Yeah, there's back then we had taekwondo. That was it, bro.
One
guy martial art.
Yeah, he took 3 years of karate when he was.
I wonder
because his parents made him.
Why he chose to do what he did. Why not grab the guy, just follow him around, grab him when you can, like a public place or mall, and just beat the shit out of him? Why shoot him and ram him? That's why I think it was confusing, because even Joe Rogan talked about this in the last episode he did, where it's they all sympathize. Dana White, all these guys, hey, free Cain Velasquez. But Joe's why didn't he just grab the guy, punch the shit out of him, and kill him hand to hand? Why the karma?
That is, you wonder, is that
weird? Is that a cultural thing? I don't know the relationship they have. It seems weird.
Because I don't know, because there's no way to get away with that. It's the high-speed chase. I can understand you're in a high-speed chase and the rage is building as the high-speed chase is happening. The rage is even building more and more and more. But a guy who's a trained fighter like that, who could just beat the snot out of anybody he wanted to, pretty much.
Walk into a house and kill everyone and walk around the front door.
Why would he not just, even if he rams the guy, yank him out of the car and beat the crap out of him? At least point, you're not
I kind of wonder if CTE or that type of stuff comes to play here.
Sure, for sure.
But
where you can't logically think.
Right, where the anger controls you. And end of the day, man, I see both sides. I tend to agree with fuck that guy if he touched my kid or a niece. But I mean, the system's there in place.
It's crazy that you say CTE though, because that almost could be a defense.
100%.
Yeah, if I'm his lawyer, they use it for everything else. Other people get off for it. They kill themselves and they go, "Oh, we wish we would have done something about this whole CTE thing." So it's you could be very well right, because that guy
certainly taking blows to the head.
I don't care who this other guy is, right? I don't care what he looks like, what his size is. That guy, Cain Velasquez, can beat his ass, right? That, no question. So,
and he's a soft-spoken guy when he talks. He does these TED Talk type things, motivational speaking things, or he did before this, and he's very soft spoken. You look at him and go, "This guy's a fucking Cro-Magnon. This guy's a killer." But he's soft spoken, always great with the community. And for him to do this type of act of violence, it just seems out of character. Where the anger kind of, I don't know. It's very. I'll be interested to see. How
I'm with you. I agree. You feel like he would just beat the shit out of the guy, right? And then how now you learned a lesson, or whatever, and then been hey, this guy molested somebody in my family, he should go to jail. I'll go do an assault charge. I'll go do a quick battery.
That's the thing. If you assault or, God forbid, kill him, I mean,
most of the time a judge, if you tell him why, is going to be all right, you're sentenced to 1 year in prison, and then in 3 weeks you're out. You know what I mean?
But attempted murder with a gun is,
you can't sweep that one under the rug.
If you're successful, you're in jail for life. If you're unsuccessful, that's a big prison sentence. You've thrown your life away. So
if you're successful, it's not attempted anymore.
No, so
you did it.
So if any lawyer worth his salt, I'm going to say, will probably use that. I mean, also say use the molesting charge, and then also say, listen, this guy's taking a lot of blows to the head. He needs treatment as opposed to a jail sentence.
I wonder if they'll ask Eddie Vedder to talk about it too.
I mean, hopefully.
I commented on. I know, Justin, you're not a big follower of Blabbermouth, but I am.
I am not.
They post this. There's this guy, KK Downing, who was the original guitar player of Judas Priest. Everything they post is anything this guy's opinion. They kicked him out of Judas Priest a couple years ago, and anything every 5 posts there's something about KK Downing, right? And so, or Corey Taylor from Slipknot. And so I posted on their Facebook with all these comments. I go, honestly, guys, I'm really offended about this, that we didn't ask KK Downing what he thinks about this whole deal. Because that's like what like their whole thing is, right?
Is
also,
Blabbermouth like the TMZ of rock music?
Yes, 100%.
Got it.
It's not, well, yeah. Yes, it is.
It's like, or let me say, not TMZ, more like the National Enquirer.
Yeah,
more, gossip column?
they're not gossip. I said that. It was just
sure.
It was just not.
They just used,
it was not a part of. It was like the smallest part of the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, they used a headline.
I'm trying to figure out if the name of this episode is going to be "Breastfeeding at Chili's" or "Successful Attempted Murder."
With Eddie Vedder.
With Eddie Vedder.
With Eddie Vedder.
Special guest Eddie Vedder.
You got to get. That's how you get the.
That's how you get the clicks, man. You put Eddie Vedder on anything on YouTube, it is going to go very well.
Rename every episode Eddie Vedder.
Eddie Vedder. Just put Eddie Vedder.
The new name of the podcast is Attempted Murder with Eddie Vedder.
Attempted Murder with Eddie Vedder.
Lyrical Murder with Eddie Vedder.
Yeah. Zach Myers murders Eddie Vedder. So I went to this place, this taco place that we have here called Swanky's the other day, and if for some reason, I guess it's always me and my brother Nick and Ollie always go, and I feel like we always go on a Monday because every time we're there's trivia, and I was thinking about this. I bet post smartphone trivia has to be trash, right?
I mean, you would think.
You know what I mean? Like when you're sitting at the table and they're like,
yeah,
okay, and this actor played so-and-so in 16 Candles. And you're like, oh, I can just fucking look this up right now.
Yeah. I mean, you're kind of playing on the honor system. It's the same thing as like self-checkout in a grocery store. You really are kind of, you just,
that's theft.
You just go ahead and say you're going to lose some.
One
People
of those
are going to
things
steal.
is legal and one of them isn't, I don't think. I don't think if you cheat at trivia, some Marina cop's not going to come up to you in your parking lot. Like, sorry, I mean, you should put those radishes back.
It's similar. You're banking on the honor system that most good people are not going to cheat or steal. That's what you're hoping for.
Have you guys ever been so frustrated at a self-checkout that you just shove shit in your bag?
No, I've never stolen, Zach.
No,
I have.
But I just left it. I've been like, you know what? I'm not even gonna put this back. I'm just gonna leave it right
literally,
here. Y'all deal with
I remember specifically one time there was a bag of brown sugar, like $1.75 bag of brown sugar, and I kept trying to scan it, and nothing was scanning. And then I just tried to like type in the number, and then nothing. And then it did scan. It said item not recognized, employee on the way, and then no employees came. I just shoved the shit in my bag.
Headline: Zach Myers admits to.
Oh my God! I gotta watch what I say theft.
Now. Yeah. Blames Eddie Vedder for thievery.
Blames Eddie Vedder for
Zach Myers robs local business.
Yeah. I will say, though, when you have to weigh a certain food object, you can't find that specific thing, I will generalize. And usually when I generalize, it ends up being the cheaper thing. Like if it's a specific pepper.
Sure.
No, I'm with you. You never click organic, dude.
No, I only
buy organic vegetables and never click it. What is it?
No.
You make this? That's so cool.
That's the new Pearl Jam album cover.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
This is the dinosaur and a yellow dinosaur.
A yellow dinosaur.
We have that.
That's awesome.
We have this.
They're stickers.
I was going to say, the line work is amazing.
Really, really solid.
How's Skeletor?
But I have this.
Thanks, Prince Adam.
They said, thanks, He-Man.
My name's is Avery.
My name's is Avery.
My name's Avery.
Yeah, there you go. He did it. He knows his line, dude. He knows his walk-off line.
Yeah.
That's his encore, dude. He knows it now. My name's is Avery. And everybody cheers.
Yeah.
If he ever comes out on stage at a Shinedown show,
stand-up comedian.
Dude, if he ever comes out on stage at a Shinedown show, I'm going to literally get on the mic and go, my name's is Avery. And everyone's going to lose their minds.
One of the angriest I've ever seen Zach is at Graceland, this last Smith and Myers run.
Dude.
Where he kept right up on the ramp, and then you're looking at me going, what the fuck, what's he doing? I'm like, dude, it's your kid. Like, all I can tell you is he's running the crowd right now. They're in a frenzy. They're sweating.
We were in the back, and me and Brent are just talking, and I hear like the crowd like screaming. You guys hadn't gone on stage yet. I'm like, what is happening? And I walk out, and I see my kid on stage.
Just giving it.
I was like, what is happening? And then he run off. and then he'd run back on. And I'm like, what is and like the reason I don't want him out there, right, is because like I've always said this, right? Like, and I know people think it's like a little bit of a hypocritical thing. I am fine posting pictures of my kids. I think it's weird for other people to post pictures of my kids. So
correct.
Yeah.
You're controlling the story.
Well, some people think I'm a hypocrite for it because they're like, well, you post pictures. I'm like, they're my fucking kids.
Right. That is a thing.
When you repost them, it's weird. And so I just didn't want any fucking yahoos taking pictures of my kids and, I don't know, put them on their wall. I'll have to Cain Velasquez somebody.
Totally makes sense.
I got to Cain Velasquez somebody. We're, I don't know if you guys are any, I know, well, Justin is, but I don't know how many baseball fans we have here, but it looks like we're probably going to be out a second week of baseball in the beginning of the season.
Take it all out. Who cares?
Just start in late September and let's get this over with.
I mean, the season is too long anyway.
It is too long.
Last year. Just continue the playoffs.
Baseball keeps kicking itself. They're their own worst enemy.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand. It seems like it'd be so easy for them to carve out their niche. They're so dead set on being like America's pastime, and those days are long gone.
Yeah, no one cares anymore.
Everybody should play on opening day. They have a soft opening day, which is ridiculous. Like, make the opening of baseball, everybody plays, everybody knows the date. They should probably end in early October, because once football starts, most people don't give a crap about baseball.
I remember 7-8 years ago, probably the last time the Red Sox won the World Series. I think that's why I felt like the baseball was great. Whenever those type of teams are in there, people are like, "Oh, opening day should be a holiday." Now you look at it, more people spend time on TikTok and fucking don't give two shits.
Yeah. Baseball's the only. Baseball's one other than basketball. Baseball and basketball are the only sports I would rather go watch it in person. I hate
100%.
I hate watching football in person. Like,
dude, give me a beer and 10 hot dogs.
Oh, dude, John and I. we were talking about we went to Yankee Stadium. We got like hot dog. It was like we had like this. Our manager has seats, and there's like this club there, dude. We ate like 3 hot dogs, and then I'm like, all right, we're gonna go to Salt Bay, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna go to Salt Bay. I'm like, I'm not eating any more hot dogs because we're going to Salt Bay. He's like, yeah, we're going to Salt Bay. And we're walking out of the stadium, dude. He gets in line at another hot dog stand. I'm like, do not get me a hot dog. And he gets me another hot dog.
Oh, you can eat hot dogs, man. That's what you do.
It's great people watching. The beer always tastes amazing. The hot dogs
taste better.
Hot dogs are better.
It's like drinking a Coca-Cola at a movie theater. For whatever it is, wherever you are, it just tastes better to me. And I think even if you don't know the teams or it's minor league or whatever it is, the crowd, people watching, the drinking, the laughing, it's the perfect weather.
Basketball is my favorite sport, but there is no better sport to watch in person to me than baseball.
I love going to baseball games.
The entire atmosphere. Where it would get a hot dog and a beer and some peanuts. Like, baseball wins there. However, on the flip side, baseball is not great on TV. Football's the best.
I cannot watch. But football's the best thing to watch on TV.
On TV, football is the best TV sport, but followed by basketball. Baseball is awful on TV.
I can't watch it. I can't watch baseball. Like, and that's the thing is, like, I've been a diehard Yankees fan my entire life. I start watching baseball games on TV in late September.
That's right. When they start really meaning something.
Then I start watching. Like, dude, guys who watch May baseball on TV. What a bunch of fucking nerds, man. My buddy, Josh, who's the drummer of Coheed and Cambria, his whole Twitter is all Mets. Everything Mets. It's all he posts about. He watches the game. Dude, watches the games on stage. I'm like, dude,
that is tough.
I care more about Eddie Vedder's opinion of me than I care about May baseball.
I will say baseball is not like when the season starts, I'll have Cardinals baseball on in the background.
Yeah.
Like, I just to have something on TV, I put it on, I come by, check a score, watch a couple at bats, go back to doing whatever I'm doing.
Something in the background. Like I've watched the 4-hour Tom Petty documentary.
Yeah.
No bullshit, at least 50 times. I can recite it back and forth. My wife makes fun of me for watching it. Like, so right now I'm signing 7,000 CD covers. That's not a joke. I'm signing 7,000 of them.
May baseball would be great for that right
in
there.
The background.
Yes.
Oh, Aaron Judge is
but
back.
But to be locked in on it is
yeah. Like I put it this way. I just started Yellowstone and caught up like 2 weeks ago. while I'm signing these, I'm rewatching the Yellowstone that I just watched. It's a great show, though.
Interesting.
It's a fantastic show.
I think a regular football game is just as exciting as, I mean, obviously playoff football gets amplified, but I think football is the only regular season sport I can watch and be excited about any matchup where, like you said, the main feud stuff, and even early basketball or hockey.
Oh, yeah.
You know, who cares? But when the playoffs hit, all those sports get elevated. I just think football is at that level the whole season.
Absolutely. Less games.
Yes.
Every game matters more. And it's a great sport on TV.
It is.
It's a great TV sport.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about the CBA thing, though. Like, there's some things that they're asking for on there that I think are a little bit out of line. It's the only sport that doesn't have a salary cap, right? And so it's like these things. But now there are also things that are on there that they're asking for that I agree with. The minimum, salary coming in, because you can be with a team 7 years. 7 years. That
you can get your second contract faster and get paid faster. That means you have to be awesome for 7 years.
Yep. And guess what?
To make money.
And really, even if you are awesome, 7 years in, they're just going to get the next schlub and give him $100,000 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I agree with that. Like, you come in, you should be able to renegotiate your deal. Like, if you got to play at 7 years and your salary's $250,000, and you're one of the best baseball players in Major League Baseball, and you can't get another deal in 7 years, and then what if you hurt yourself? What if something happened? Like,
that's right.
I agree with that. Like, we got to get on the same page. And also, listen. Not on their side about that part, but like on the owner side, like this shit's about greed, right? Like you got that money. You got that money.
Who has that money? The owners or the
owners?
The owners have that money.
Yeah, you got that.
And that's it's billionaires fighting with millionaires. And the thing is that millionaire.
You just explained it perfectly.
He's got about 5 years to make those millions. That billionaire, his career doesn't end.
His parents had those billions.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So like, I understand that. Like, increase the profit for like your contract, or at least make the time shorter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you don't have to do that. But like there's no salary cap. Like these guys, listen, in baseball, you can be a chubby, beer drinking fucking fool and make $300 million. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Thomas.
That's a lot.
But you can also be Chris Bryant. The Cubs did Chris Bryant wrong, man.
Oh, so wrong, dude.
I mean, he came out as like, years ago as like the top dog. And they even did that thing where if they kept him in the minors for one extra week, then they would have his rights to be able to hold him for 7 years as opposed to having to pay him earlier. And so they kept this dude who was their starting third baseman in AAA for like an extra week just so they could work and to be fair, it's shrewd on their part because they work the contract like they're supposed to, but also that's doing him wrong.
That's so
You're
wrong,
a billionaire.
Dude.
Pay that man his money. He deserves it.
Give that man his money, man. And 2015, I think he is when he joined the Cubs, right?
That's what you get for playing for the Cubs.
Stupid.
How come Tennessee doesn't have a team? Like, it seems like that'd be a good market for one.
Honestly, I tell you what, if they ever expand again, I bet Nashville.
It'll be in Nashville. Yeah, it's just for expansion. I mean, the last expansion team was the Marlins, right?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
And Memphis was the biggest city in the state at that point.
Especially with like the influx of celebrities and stuff, and that'd be a very interesting place to see a baseball game.
I'll be very shocked. I'll be very shocked if in the next 10 years Nashville doesn't have a baseball and a basketball team.
Certainly I don't know about a basketball. I mean, maybe unless somebody moves there, but Seattle's getting a basketball team before anybody else does.
Seattle, Vegas, Vancouver.
Seattle and Vegas will get one before it.
Good.
I think
move us
anybody else.
to the east. Move us to the east.
A Memphis and Nashville basketball like rivalry would be so ridiculous for that sport.
That'd be great, but they're trying. They want Nashville people to be Grizzlies fans. Is what they want.
And they are becoming that way, which is actually kind of nice.
But why wouldn't you support your home team, like your home state, though? Like, right?
They do.
Because Nashvillians look down on us.
They do. They think we're, even though we were cool way before them.
Way before.
They were just a fucking backwoods fucking hick town until 7 fucking years ago. No one gave a shit. Now everyone's moving there, so it's like there's a lot of money there. But I think they'll get a baseball team in the next 10 years if they do another expansion. But
I would not be surprised by that.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of this area is all Cardinals, Braves, and Cubs fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the Mid-South. So even I'll go to Nashville. Half the people who live in Nashville are transplants now. But your local Nashvillians are mostly Braves and Cubs fans.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, originally, like when the Titans came there, it was kind of like that, right? It was like, well, we don't, everyone was just Cowboys fans. It's like, now we have a team that's actually good, and it's still, we just need a new quarterback, which we're not going to get because as we found out about 5 minutes before we started recording this, Aaron Rodgers has signed a 4-year, $200 million with an M deal. That's a lot of money. Good for him. I didn't think that was going to be a thing.
I did. He's too good. He's too good, and it's too hard to find a quarterback.
His thing wasn't money, though. We talked about this the last time you were on here.
I know. I don't think it was money for him. I'm saying from the Packers side.
Yeah, they had to. Trust me. They had to make him a decision making. He is a decision making person. In that,
yes,
which he should have been since Jump Street.
Yes. When you look at the landscape, there's only about 15 of these guys who are worth a starting job in the world. And you have one of the best who's ever played the game.
And right now you have the best one because the best one just retired.
Right. So
and
you just
had
give
the
it
second best one, and now you got the best one. So
yeah. So once you start looking, when it comes down to that, you start looking around, going, I mean, is he a difficult? Yes.
Yeah,
but he's back with his girlfriend though, right? Shailene Woodley or whatever.
I saw that. I did.
Coming back,
baby.
To do it. He's coming back, baby.
Yeah,
coming back. This guy's on a comeback tour, man.
I hope he burns everyone. I mean, how the media dragged him specifically I would say through the pandemic. No matter what side you look at, how he handled it, dude, I was fucking baller. Especially someone of his caliber that just did what he did. But let these athletes be athletes. If they want to be vocal about certain stuff, let them do that. But man, just let the guy play football. Like you're nitpicking this guy. It's like he's able to troll them so magnificently. I love Aaron Rodgers.
I love it too because you know what it is. It's like you see all this stuff like. The right always talks about cancel culture, and cancel culture isn't real. Cancel culture is real. It's like, no, they're just people big enough to beat it. And that guy won the MVP. Didn't he? He won the MVP, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Like, and everyone's like, he's not going to get the MVP because of the vaccine thing. It's like, he got the MVP, so there you go, same thing, right? Like, I don't want to, I'm not trying to get into this, but so the ACM awards were last night, and Morgan Wallen was obviously back and won Album of the Year, Record of the Year, whatever.
Icon,
dude. He was dressed like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. This weird suit.
I didn't see any highlights or clips of this.
I went to go see him live last week in Savannah. I was there, and of course, I've known Morgan for a little while, and Hardy and and a bunch of their crew I'm friends with. And I went to the show, and it was, certainly didn't look like a guy who's been canceled. It was very sold out. And the weekend before that, he did the 2 nights at Madison Square Garden. But I gotta say this, I was looking on Twitter and just to see this whole woke white people, nerdy white people. No one else cared. It's like they're like, shh. They're like, Maren Morris is our god because she didn't stand up and clap and it's funny that the ACMs let a racist. And I'm like, here's my point. I'm gonna make a point real quick. And now, John, I would actually love to hear your thoughts on this, but this is my point.
Might not.
I may not want to hear your thoughts. I've always said I don't believe anyone should say that word, right? No race, person, color, doesn't matter. But it's not my word. So I can't speak on that. That's not my place. But I'll say this. This whole broad stroking thing of calling a person a race. Listen, if this guy was outside in a park playing basketball and he called a group of African American people the N-word, that's a racist comment. Being probably 4 times over the legal driving limit in the privacy of your own driveway and calling your ultra white friend the N-word, that just makes you an asshole. Doesn't make you a racist. It doesn't. Listen, the thing that Michael Richards did in a comedy club made him a racist when he's yelling at black people in the crowd going, and he says the word with hard R.
That was bad look.
That's a racist thing to say because you are pointing at a person of a certain race and calling them the worst thing you can call them. The worst thing they can ever be called. When you say it to your Chad, your drunk white buddy, who's, and you're in your drive, listen, it makes you an asshole. But like this broad stroke of going, he's a racist. I'm like, this guy pretty much only listens to hip hop music. You can tell by his own music.
It's easy to label something if you disagree with it by a blanket statement as opposed to just.
You have to because you can't rationalize it. You're not smart enough to rationalize it. So you just go racist.
Don't rationalize. People don't think context. And you're right, though. It's a terrible word. There's a ton of other racist or homophobic words that shouldn't be used. Now, does context come into play in some of that? Sure. Who's saying it? But I don't know, man. I'm just...
here's the thing. I don't think context comes into play for that word at all. There's no context where you should say that word.
No, I'm saying...
I know what you're saying. Yeah, but what I'm saying is like... just going like, oh, you said the word, you're a racist. I'm like, guess what?
Gotcha, right. Yeah.
My grandmother said that word all the time because she was raised in the fucking 30s. You know what I mean?
Well, you're also, people are victims of the life they grew up in and the times change. So that's
my grandmother also, my grandparents were also the first people to hire African-American wait staff at their restaurants when they were told that people would burn down their fucking restaurant if they did it. They still did it. You know what I mean? And my grandmother said that word like she didn't think it was a bad word to say. That's how she grew up, right? But like, listen, what I'm saying is we got to start. All these people just going, oh, this racist homophobe. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, he said a word, and guess what? He was so drunk he couldn't even stand up. He was in the privacy of his own home, and he said a word. He got illegally. Listen, the neighbor needs his ass whooped. You don't need to say the word. You don't ever need to say the word, but just blanket statement calling anybody a racist is like, come on, man. Like if you said
there's no room for nuance in the public's mind when nuance matters.
And I agree. I sort of agree with that word. There is no room for nuance. But
there's no room for nuance even of canceling him and just blankly calling somebody a racist.
But that's how you have to cancel him, right? You can't say he said he used a derogatory word, he used a racial slur. You can't get canceled for using a racial slur. You can get canceled for being called a racist.
Like what if he yelled at his same friend Chad, but he called him a whore? Would he then be canceled for being a misogynist?
I don't know. Nowadays, probably. I don't. That guy's name's probably not Chad, by the way. I just made that up.
Yeah, sure. I know. I like calling him Chad.
There's a very distinct chance it is, though.
Yeah, there's a very distinct chance.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and he's telling another white girl to get this white friend home. Like, to me, that's not racism. That's being an asshole and saying a word you're not supposed to say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But like, if there's a black dude on his lawn and he says, get this N-word off my lawn.
Way different.
That's racist.
That is racist.
You're a piece of shit.
Yes.
And you probably need to be shot on your front lawn. Anyway.
If Morgan Wallen was black and said, hey, get this honky home, would the media be upset by that?
I don't care. I love the word honky.
Right, but here's the thing.
Honky's a great word.
Right, but I love it. We're actually changing this podcast to Eddie Vedder is a honky.
I wish people would call me honky more.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I'm just saying, it's just funny how people pick and choose what racism is. Like racism is so
listen,
racism.
It's the same with science. It's the same. It's when it's convenient for you. When is it convenient for me to use this thing? When is it convenient for me to use science? You know what I mean? Like, also, man, shout out to this crazy war. R.I.P. coronavirus.
No, buddy. No kidding. For anybody who had
this shit went way faster.
Way fast.
The only way to get rid of the pandemic was start a war.
War.
Who said that? Who said that on the podcast months and months and months ago?
We
Who said that on the podcast? I go, something's going to happen
Yeah.
A big event is going to happen, and this shit's going to the meme of Homer Simpson just backing into the bushes? That's exactly
I feel sorry
what
for
happened.
the people who have like they're on like the coronavirus beat, or like I've been getting these advertisements in podcasts. They're like, hey, your daily coronavirus update. Listen to the podcast. And I'm like, what? I hate it for you guys because your job has just gone down the drain.
Man, mask makers right now they're like, we got to get it in now, baby.
That's
It's
right.
over.
They're like, they don't care about Ukraine. They're just pissed at Putin for starting this war.
The gold rush has ended, baby.
That's right. Like, crap, make these masks blue and yellow. Make these masks blue and yellow.
Yeah, we need fireproof. We need nuclear radioactive masks.
What size bulletproof vest does
Flak
Vladimir
jacket.
Zelensky wear? We got to start making vests, guys. Oh, what about nuclear masks, guys? They're going to start a nuclear war. Fuck,
Yep.
we gotta figure out how to make money because ain't nobody gonna be wearing masks.
Listen. Copperfit is on it right now, guys.
Dude,
They will
Copperfit's
have-
ready,
actually-
dude.
They've
They've already made the ad.
at 1 a.m. on ESPN.
I'm
You're going to see
surprised,
Stop
like,
Nuclear Warfare with this Copperfit
I'm
mask.
surprised something like CNN hasn't pushed out like everyone in solidarity wear like the Ukraine flag face mask coverings.
Oh,
I'm honestly
Oh, yeah.
shocked. I stand with Ukraine. I protect the people of Ukraine and the people back home who are battling COVID. It's like
They don't care about Palestine. They fucking care
no,
about the
or
Ukraine.
Taiwan, or
anywhere
anywhere
else where this shit happens.
Right.
Ed, listen, it's what can we grab onto to pretend we care so we feel like we have a fucking purpose in the world. That's exactly
Yes.
what it is, man. And it's like, listen, I knew this thing was going to go away this year, but fuck, did I not know how fast it was going to go away?
Way fast.
Bro,
Way
it's-
fast.
This shit
It's
is
quick.
this shit is like the plague now. It's over, buddy. This is already in the history book. Ain't nobody talking about this shit.
For me, I mean, I woke up today going, man, I kind of miss pandemic. I miss COVID. I got to smile now and use my mouth to communicate. Fuck.
Oh, wow.
Man, it was
People can see
kind
me
of weird.
talk.
A guy on the last night who watches my show, Monday Night Show, is quarantined right now. He just got COVID for the first time, and it was like odd to see it. I was like, "What in the world?"
Dude, tell him
got it, but no one
tell him to
cares.
go, dude. Tell him to go sneeze on the fucking elderly right now. This shit ain't killing
Well,
nobody no
He
more.
lives in Canada. He lives in Canada.
Oh no, he
so-
can't go
He
anywhere. Yeah. He was
got it at a
quarantined
time-
anyway.
Yeah, that's
He
right.
got it at a time where people that were wearing face masks the last 2 years straight are now calling him a pussy. Like, dude, you're a pussy.
You're a pussy.
Stop being a bitch. Stop being a bitch. Get your fourth shot, you asshole.
Dude, how many people at a vaccine making factory have been fired in the last 2 weeks?
Oh, buddy.
Well, the same ones that were fired out of the military don't want to be re-enlisted to go fight a war. It's like, dude, you got rid of all the people. Dude, the
I didn't even
hypocrisy
think about that
of
shit.
This whole thing is so stupid.
Dude, the juxtaposition of you're going to fire people in the military who served this whole time during it, and then now that a vaccine's out, it's like you're going to fire them for not getting it, and then now there's a war. I hope these people are sitting there going, oh yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
100%. Just a joke, man.
Keep fighting
Human
that war
life-
yourselves, motherfuckers.
Yeah. And human loss is a real, I mean, obviously I sympathize with that, but it's okay to look at the hypocrisy of this whole fucking world stage. It's just a joke.
Sure.
It's a joke.
Listen, it's hard to not put on a tinfoil hat and go, this war started to get rid of coronavirus.
What's coming? The only thing you get rid of this war now.
I said it. I
is
fucking said it. I don't
Tsunami
give a
is 17 massive
But he about to make
tornadoes.
headlines
I don't know
again.
shit about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a dumbass with a fucking microphone, which is my problem in the first place.
I'm about to use that as a trailer and post it out on socials.
Zach Myers calls the Iraq-Russia war Eddie Vedder's battle.
Smoke screen to get rid of corona. Zach Myers says the war was started to get it. That's not what I said. I just said it's hard not to think that at this point.
But you about to get a call from Alex Jones.
Yeah.
I can't understand him. He's just yelling. I don't know what he's
Just
saying.
yelling. Yeah.
Zach Myers, quote, Eddie Vedder is Russia. What?
Listen, guys, I'm Vladimir Zelensky and Eddie Vedder is Putin. Is it weird that both these guys' names are Vladimir?
Maybe that Vladimir is like the name John in
Could be.
Eastern Europe and Russia.
John, you
be.
want to go first?
Sexually?
Yeah.
John the shaman, keeping you on track. All you gotta do is touch his big old sack of mail.
always go first.
Yeah. All right.
You always go first sexually.
So some of these, one of them I'm not even going to read because it's a long one, but the subject is shaving my boyfriend's asshole.
Oh yeah, we asked if we ever. I forget the questions that we ask people, and it's.
But I'm just like, this is a long one.
What was the question? I forgot what the question was too. What was the question
if they'd
from
ever
last week?
shaved their significant others?
Have you shaved your significant other? Got it.
Do you want me to read? I mean, it's a good one. It's just
read it.
Okay, why not?
Here.
Okay. So I should have set up another email since mine is my actual name, but fuck it. Since you guys are always considerate with not saying everyone's full names, here you go.
We don't read your names on here anyway.
Well, Samantha. I'm kidding. You're fucked now, Samantha. All right, here we go.
It's 702 Bourlane Drive.
You have a filthy cooter. All right, here we go. My boyfriend works out of town.
Hold on.
Just how you said that.
Just that he said filthy cooter.
What's crazy is
nouns.
What's crazy is as of 8 seconds ago, I just started a metal band called Filthy Cooter.
All right, sorry. Proceed, John.
My boyfriend works out of town a lot, so we don't get to see each other like a normal couple does, but I fucking love him, I must say. Seeing each other about 6 days a month, and then for about 2 to 3 months around the holidays, the winter is fabulous. But we don't have certain things But we have certain things, others we do for each other that we don't know about or just don't see. Oh, maybe that's what this there. Anyways, he's been home now since July, and I've now realized why I don't like us being together all the time. One night he yelled for me, and I walk into the bathroom, and I see something I can never unsee. Fuck.
Here we go. Here we go.
I was naked. He was naked with one leg threw up and his foot on the toilet seat bent over. As I try and gather myself and not laugh or cry, what the fuck ever, he hands me his clippers and says, I need help. With shaking hands, I take the clippers and get to work. With each swipe, I'm thinking to myself, wow, fuck you, Biden, for shutting down so many of these pipelines because normally he would be on the road for doing this himself.
Bro, she just lets go Brandon and
That is the ultimate thanks, Biden.
She just went, let's go Brandon on this guy's asshole. Well, after his ass was done,
dude. TQ.
After his ass was done, he turns around and I'm expecting some kind of smart remark about a blowjob since I'm on my knees. And I honestly would have been disappointed in him if he didn't take the opportunity for a good blowy comment. Instead, he says to me, do the front now too. At least he said please, so I'm like, all right, this is where I get started to go south. About halfway through, I get to his ball. I've got his balls in one hand, moving them around, making sure there's no strains or anything that I've got the clippers in the other hand.
God damn, dude. I just went from 6 to midnight.
Yeah, here he is.
I think there's about to be a cut involved.
This is a romance novel.
Yeah, here he is where he made the mistake. He decides to shake his ass to make his dog shake around also while smiling. I wasn't expecting that, so I suddenly drop his balls and the edge of the clippers hits his sack.
Told you.
Very quickly, it turned into something like a scene from Carrie. Blood running everywhere. He's freaking out, making sure everything was still there, and I'm making jokes about how he looks like he's on his period and shit like that. Dude, Samantha,
fucking women, dude.
She is brutal.
Samantha's
evil, all of them. Every last one of them.
While none of my jokes appeared to be funny to him, I couldn't stop giggling because I tend to do that in inappropriate situations. Needless to say, later that night, after getting his balls wrapped up in Neosporin and gauze, I had to make it up to him and give him a blowjob. Oh, God, that must have smelled like a wet cast. And I'm saying that's my observation. And put him in positions that no human body should be put in. But that was the first and last time I ever asked to shave his asshole. I call that a win. Got laid and I'm retired from ass shaving. Wow.
I like this person.
Yeah, Samantha from Toledo, Ohio. Yeah.
Man. That's solid.
All right, here we go.
Here's a question. Samantha from Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, here we go. Here's a.
You said it smelled like a wet cast.
I can only imagine like, just
She thanked Biden for the position she was put in.
Yeah,
Right.
because the
Was on her
pipeline,
knees shaving his butt.
because the
high gas
pipelines were
prices.
shut down.
No.
High gas
Dirty
prices
hole.
and shaving assholes.
Okay, hey guys, loving the podcast. So my answer to y'all's question is no. I've never shaved my significant other anywhere. My question for you all is, what are some of the weirdest and or funniest fetish gone wrong stories with ridiculous excuses you've ever heard? For example, a friend of mine was an ER doc and had a patient that had a full squash lodged all the way up his back door. If it's a zucchini, I get it. The guy was too embarrassed to admit that he had been given the squash the old booty bash treatment. God damn it. So he told the doctor that he likes to save time by washing his produce while he showers, and that this particular time he slipped and landed on a squash that just somehow happened to be sitting perfectly upright. Thanks for the great podcast.
One more time.
If you're-
What's the question?
The question is,
It
what
was
are
kind
the
of
weirdest
lost in all that.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving dinner, this guy's anus threw me for a loop. What are some of the weirdest and or funniest fetish gone wrong stories with ridiculous excuses you've ever heard? Like something randomly ends up your asshole and you say, oh, you fell on it.
I feel like that's always the excuse when people ask, how did that end up in your asshole? And you're like, oops, I slipped in the shower and fell on it.
But like, what you hear that as a doctor, like, oh yeah, I wash my fucking kumquats and rutabagas in the shower too. And
Yeah.
like, how do you
Saving time. It's like,
John, what do you say whenever you go to the doctor and you get something like a Matchbox car or something? Hot Wheels.
or a
in there?
Matchbox 20 CD stuck in my asshole? Well, it
Or
was
Rob
4
Thomas.
a.m. Yeah. No, I've never had a situation where I've had to lie like that. Like what? Like I don't. Yeah, I've never had to be in a situation where you kind of like feel like obligated to not tell the truth.
even the stories I've heard are it's almost always ER docs or ER nurses that have, some variation of the story you just told. It's always stuff. It's always people, ER doctors and ER nurses say, you'd be surprised just how much stuff we get in here of things stuck in somebody's butthole. And they always have an excuse of like, oops, I fell on it.
It's almost like, remember how every
It's
time
never like, no one's ever been like, yeah, I was putting this in my asshole and it just got sucked up in there like a fucking
Never.
alien tractor beam. You know what I mean? Like, it's never
Never.
been like, oh yeah, I fell. Let me tell you something. You know how much shit I've fallen on? I've slipped and
much.
fallen on, and it didn't end up in my asshole. You know what I'm saying?
how far did you take that Fender guitar neck down to the third fret?
Well, it was a prototype neck, so it didn't have all the.
Yeah, it was actually ukulele. It was heavy.
Yeah, ukulele. It was Eddie Vedder's ukulele.
It was just the whammy bar.
It was Eddie Vedder's ukulele.
Ugh.
Oh man, that's pretty. Yeah, that's a decent question, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Here's another question. Hey, male, 22. I have another question for you guys. This more applies to the non-rock stars, cough, Zach. So I guess I'm the one answering this. But as adults, how does one make friends now that high school is over? I don't really have a clique or a group of friends. Thanks again for the love, boys.
Actually,
you guys-
JR and I will be better for answering this because we're married and you're not. Your wife tells you who you're friends with.
Pretty much.
That's how
It
it
was weird.
happens.
Well,
You guys got some questionable friends that come out to shows.
This is very true.
I honestly, it was kind of a weird deal because I was touring pretty heavily, like straight out of, like actually not out of college. Touring got me out of college, but it killed my social life. I didn't have my friends were the guys I was in a band with for the most part. That's because that's all we saw. All of our weekend nights and most of our nights were spent together, and those were our friends. So it was actually when we were home and off, it was who Anna being my girlfriend at the time, who my girlfriend had me hanging out with because my only friends at that point were pretty much the guys I was in a band with.
Your friends are your wife's friends' husbands.
Yep.
Now, is there a specific, we don't have to name names. I mean, I want you to, but is there a friend of your wives that you guys don't like?
Yeah.
And there's tension there where it's awkward, where it's like you just there because it's your wife's friend.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if there's any I just straight up dislike, but there are people I could certainly do without hanging out with.
Oh, interesting. Is it awkward for you in like situations?
No, I'm okay in awkward situations.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
bit of a loudmouth, and so I can make a conversation happen wherever I am. But there are people that still, if I don't have to talk to them, I won't. I think Zach, we got lucky on this a lot though. That our friend group is actually
pretty tight.
It's mostly the dudes, and the wives
became friends
because of us.
the dudes. Yeah, we got lucky in that aspect to where like.
But now that I have kids in school, it's my wife meets other moms through being in PTO and other moms at the school, and Lucy's dance friends, and then their moms, and then at which point
one way to do it is kind of like that. So like last night I was at I brought Ollie to soccer practice, just me, and there's another dad there. And I talked to him for a while, and he now, granted, he knows a few of our friends. He went to school with Jacob Kirk. He knows Jacob Henley.
Eddie Vedder, he knows him.
He knows Eddie Vedder. So I like, and then literally like that guy like started following me on Instagram. I'm like, oh, I'll follow this guy back. Like you know, like that's, I don't know, maybe the most organic Instagram follow section I've ever had with someone who like wasn't in our business or like whatever. You know what I mean? Like it was just this is Germantown soccer dad, dude. You know.
But this guy asking the question is like, he said he's 22.
Yeah.
So you're not, unless you're having kids real young, you're not having the kids and the wives.
Yeah, most probably at your job aspect. Then maybe like where you work.
Is job or church?
Yeah.
If you're not going out to bars, if you're not going out, it's kind of job and church.
Yeah.
Or if you play sports, maybe you can get on like a adult
the Lord
sports
of the
team.
Ledger, son. Figure it out. You only get friends two places.
Lord of the Ledger.
Bumble. Can you get on Bumble? That's one of those apps, right? I saw that on a
Bumble and Hinge. Hinge is another one too.
Hinge is the one that I always ask Chris Porter about because he always talks about either himself or maybe his sister being on Hinge. I probably shouldn't have said that. Oh well.
That's how they both met.
Oh well.
Hinge is the one where like the girl has to initiate, right?
I thought that was Bumble.
I don't know.
Bumble's where the girl initiates.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know one of them, the girl has to initiate like the conversation. Like the dudes can't just be like, "Hey, here's my dick." You know,
the girls could be like that though. I'll be like, "Oh, what?"
Dude, I'm so glad, man. That I like got married and stuff like before like all these like apps came out. Like,
too.
I can't imagine, especially being
imagine you and Tinder when Sound of Madness came out. What that would have been like? Oh, it would have been fucking
dude.
Second chances all over the backseat of every fucking.
Bono would have been on stage talking about me because I would have had AIDS. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I would have. If
on you,
dude, I told you like what I used to do on MySpace, right? Back in the day, did I ever tell you that?
No.
I used to do this thing. I would call it advancing shows. Like
that was the creepiest thing.
So, like, okay, so people not in this industry, like what John has to do, and our tour manager and our production manager, all three of them, and Aaron, our assistant, they do this thing called advancing shows where they'll call ahead and they'll have to tell the people what's coming. But on MySpace, here's where MySpace fucked up. On MySpace, you could type in a zip code, whether you were looking for male or female, the age group you were looking for, and what they were into, what kind of music they listened to. So you could be like rock music, 19 to 35 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And you would type it in, and only women who listen to rock music between the ages of 19 and 35 would pop up. And you'd be like, hey, I'm coming to the Orbit Room. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how I met my ex-fiance, ladies and gentlemen. True story. True fucking story.
Is this the one that had the sex toys in your attic that Bethany found?
Different girlfriend, but yeah. We've talked about that on here, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I love that story.
Yeah. So
last time I was at your house,
when we were moving out of my old apartment, I'd found a bunch of my ex-girlfriends. That was Brittany. I'd found I'm saying fucking names on here.
Man.
I'd found a bunch of my ex-girlfriends stuff, and she was into some wild shit and loved to dress up and wear wigs and heels and had like all kind of toys and shit. And I just when we broke up, I just shoved them in an old box and put them at the top of the closet. And when we were moving, I found them, and then by the time I found them when we had already moved it to the new house, and I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? Like my fucking wife's downstairs. I got all this shit. So when we built the shoe closet, there was a back attic, and I just shoved it in the back of the attic. And one day, literally years later, my wife found it and thought it was mine. Not for long. It just kind of crossed her mind, though. It was like I can't fit into a size 8 heel. I got big feet. What else you got, John?
That's all I got.
That's all you got? All right, let's do some gripes then. Shall we?
You better watch out. I'm just kidding.
Let's do it live, dude.
Fuck, man. I was like, how did he put that in already?
I was like, damn, it sounded just like him.
Did I already record this? Am I in the Matrix? Are we dead?
You better watch out. You better be nice, or you might find yourself in Zach's gripes.
Why is it still called a glove compartment?
That's a great question.
I told Ollie the other day, I go, hey, grab this out of the glove compartment. He goes, the what? And I go, you know what? You're right.
Well, you have the center console, so would this be the passenger console? What would you call it? The dash console?
Dash console? Glove box. Here's my question.
Glove box.
To even name it that,
How many
people were taking their gloves off and going, oh, this is a space for my gloves. Let's call it the glove compartment. How many fucking gloves are you putting in there?
Maybe when you drove a Model T, you had driving gloves? Maybe because it was freezing cold?
I imagine women
yeah,
have like their fancy gloves on, but like glove compartment. Why are we still calling this a glove compartment?
It's a good question. I don't understand
why.
that.
Why the glove compartment? You know what? Hold on one second.
The glove box. The glove
box, dude. That's what I wonder if that's what gynecologists call women's vaginas.
Ooh,
because they work.
It's got that same leather.
That's the love box.
The love box. All right, I'm looking up. I'm looking up. All right, the name is derived from the compartment's original purpose, which was to store driving gloves. So JR,
driving gloves, like I said.
Originally, the compartment was comprised of a box that was located near the driver on the floorboard. Driver gloves were worn to keep your hands clean and were considered an essential piece of equipment in early vehicles. Okay, but by the time we put it in the passenger side, were they really wearing driving gloves?
Not unless you were like a professional driver, I don't think.
That's like still calling baseball America's pastime, right? Like America's pastime is jerking off. We know what America's pastime is. Like, you know.
Well, that's like Jason, I mean, when I record stuff on my phone, I still sometimes say I'm going to tape this, or like I'm going to tape it on the DVR.
Well, that's old habit. Like taping wasn't that long ago. Glove box was like 100 years ago. Can we stop calling this the fucking glove box? All right. Next thing. Dude, all right, listen, ladies. Can you guys stop telling us about the bad shit that happens in your dreams and then projecting it on us when you fucking wake up?
Dude.
Wait, what?
You have no idea how many times I have woken up, gotten up in the morning, fixing the kids' lunch for school. My wife is mad at me.
She had a dream that you cheated on her.
I'm like, is there something going on? And she's like, I had the worst dream about you last night. You cheated on me.
This is why I brought this up.
You cheated on me, and you did not even care, and you were so mean about it. Dude. And I was like, you know, I was asleep right next to you, right?
That's what I mean, dude. That's why I brought this up. The other day, my wife goes, she goes, and I know what's coming when she says this. And she goes, I had a dream. I go, bitch, what are you, Martin Luther King? I don't give a fuck about your goddamn dreams. This shit happened in real life. I was asleep right here, snoring my ass off. I had a dream. Like, get off the fucking mountaintop for a second. And I don't give a fuck about your dream. And you were so mean about it. That's how bad that one too. It was like you were dating this girl that I didn't even know, and you didn't even care when I confronted you about it. I'm like, did you wake up? Okay, then the fucking dream's over. Well, this.
She's like, you acted weird in the dream, Zach. You were on your back this time. It was really weird.
I was on bottom.
I was on bottom, and you were so mean.
And you were so mean about it.
You were so mean.
But I feel that one. Hardcore.
Dude, that's probably gonna be the best gripe for dudes. That might be their favorite gripe I've ever brought up on this podcast. I bet you, Martin Luther King, give a fuck about your dreams. Get out of here. Oh, the pool was empty and you threw me in it. Bitch, this didn't happen. What are you talking about? You sprayed me with hot sauce. Well, okay.
Right.
I'm gonna do it in real. Let's see. I got a lot today. They're all short ones though. But can we stop calling things life hacks? A life hack is just a good idea. That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's just a good idea.
You're
not hacking life. You're not hacking life by going, hey, maybe I can take this coat hanger here and put a hat on it, and then I can put more hats. And it's not a life hack.
What's interesting is the person that came up with the life hack. That's just a normal thing they do. Yeah. So where do you draw that person's life hack? It's something you just normally do.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that website that there's a website that every year they release a list of words that you're no longer allowed to use, and usually it's something like that where they're like,
I didn't know about this.
Okay, we get it. I mean, I forget what they may do an annual. It just came out like a month or two ago where they're like, all right, these words are over. You're not allowed to use this anymore.
I love that.
I think, and life hack, if it's not already on there, it should be.
It should.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a life hack. I'm gonna do a life hack for that.
I'm gonna have come up with a couple life hacks. Yeah, life hacks is just a good idea.
Like what's a good a life hack for sex? Like, there's got to be a list out there. Like, what are the life hacks for sex? Like, how do you?
I tell you what, if they're
don't beat around the bush.
They're on the edge of the bed. They're on the edge of the bed, and maybe they're a little. It's like short, and you're like a tall guy. Put a couple pillows up under there.
Life
How
hack.
about the
Use
phrase don't beat around the bush? Like, who was the first person that said that? Is this like is it actual
that's
bush?
dude, here's the thing. Imagine I would love to see like a Larry David of that. Like as opposed to what? Going in the bush? Like, what are you doing here?
Don't beat around the bush. Like, what's wrong with the bush?
Maybe that was the original word for foreplay. Don't beat around the bush. Stop kissing my inner thighs and shit. Do what the fuck you're gonna do, and let's get out of here.
I need to know where that saying came from, because like, don't beat a dead horse makes sense, but don't beat around the bush. Who?
Yeah, right.
Who's beating around a bush?
Who's beating around a bush?
Yeah,
so stupid.
Sharp as a knife, sly as a fox.
Sly as a fox. That's Well, foxes are pretty smart.
They're smart as an owl. Do you know how smart an owl is? Yeah. Just because he does different things than you do or another bird does? What's his aptitude test?
What's his aptitude test?
Here's another one. And I actually have a video of this. I don't know if I'm going to send it because I might be there. Me and Ollie were driving down. I live on like a 2-lane road, off of a 2-lane road. It's like this kind of back road, and you can't get around anybody. There's nowhere to jump around anybody. But there's a girl the other day going, and it's a 45-mile-an-hour road. There was a girl the other day going 25 miles an hour. And I was like, what is happening? I thought maybe she was I could just tell from the back of her head that she was young. Looking at her drive.
Looking for your house?
Yeah, looking for my house probably. And so then we get out onto the another road, which is a bigger road. And then we turn left onto another road, which is Highway 64. And she's still doing it. And there's cars like honking their horns. Like, I get by her. Dude, she is straight up this whole time like this.
Oh, no.
No.
Dead serious. I took a video of it. I have a video of it. I'll send it here. We'll put it in here. And so I'm like, I fucking dad this shit.
For people listening, tell them what she's doing.
Oh, sorry.
And not watching.
Sorry. So has her phone to her right of the steering wheel, and she is not looking at the road at all. Good eye, J.R. Moore, because I sometimes forget. It's like when stand-up comedy, like if they'd film a show and then it's going to be an album, and you're like, what is this guy? Who's air fucking? Okay, I didn't know.
And they're a very physical comic.
Yeah. Yeah. So like she's looking at her phone all the way to the right, like almost looking at her, like on her phone, just like talking, like blah blah, not even looking at the road at all. Going at this point when we get on 64, she's going 25 miles an hour.
And 64 is a highway. It's 55.
Highway.
It's 55 to 65 mile an hour. So
sorry, she's almost going 35 miles an hour under the speed limit. And it's just the middle of the day.
That's
People
dangerous.
are trying to get somewhere. Very dangerous. My kids are in the car. So finally I like roll down the window. I go, hey, I'm honking. She's not even paying attention to me honking. I run up and I go, get off your fucking phone. And she just looks at me and I go, your phone, get the fuck off of it. At this point, she's like ignoring. I start looking for shit. And this is how a maniac I am when it comes to shit. I start looking for shit in my car to throw at her. I was going to pick up something and physically throw it out my window at her. That's how much of a fucking idiot she was being. So stop doing that because listen, whatever you're doing, and listen, I've texted in my car before, but I don't sit there and stare at my fucking phone. Also, if I want to, I can double click this little thing. My car just drives me. It's fine. It's great for sending emails. But get off your fucking phone. And if you're gonna text and drive, at least go the fucking speed limit. You know,
at least have the common courtesy that if you're going to drive dangerously, at least go the speed limit.
At least so when you hit somebody, you're at least going a little faster, you know?
At least going a little faster. You're at least out of somebody else's way.
Yeah, it was just so fucking stupid. I was just like, and she didn't give a
oblivious
fuck, man. She did not care. I was like, this is driving me crazy. Get off your fucking phone. Stop it.
Are your kids well engaged now where they can look at that person, know why you're frustrated, and just be like, dude, this person sucks?
Ollie could tell that she was driving ridiculously. Like, Ollie even said something about it. He goes, what is that person doing? And I go, they're texting and driving. And so, literally driving 20 miles an hour on her phone. Just on her phone the whole time. All right, this is my last one.
Imagine if he rolled down the window and was like, fucking bitch.
Fucking car. Fucking dude.
Oh, man.
Fucking dude.
What? No, what did you say?
Fucking car.
Dude. I'm blessed to where when I post certain things, I write a lot of long diatribe posts sometimes about how thankful I am for what we get to do. And then actually Justin told me one time that I should write celebrity obituaries. Because when celebrities die, he's like, man, everything you write about celebrities die.
You really do.
Really
you really should. That's an extra little side
gig. But you know, I'm blessed enough to where people, you know, I post a lot about the humility I have for what I do and how thankful I am for it. And everybody's like, oh yeah, you're very humble when it comes to this, and I'd like to think I am too in a way. But like, here's my this is a gripe. If someone comes on my Facebook page and talks shit.
Here we go.
And then I say some shit back. Like they say like a really mean comment, right? And I talk shit back. They're like, oh, look at Mr. fucking not humble. I'm like, hold on. I didn't go to your Facebook page. You came to my Facebook page and you started talking shit. And then when I gave it back to you, you didn't like it. Everyone, it's fun for everyone to be mean until someone's mean back to you. And then it's like, oh, Correct. What the fuck, man? I'm a fan, dude. I'm just a fan. I'm like, yeah, you're a fan who just called me a douchebag. So go
right.
So fuck you and fuck everybody who looks like you. I don't give a fuck. Like that shit bothers the piss out of me. By the way, John, I don't know if you missed it, but there was this. I got into a barbecue war last week.
I saw it. I didn't want. I mean, I had two really good comments lined up. I'm like, I just don't want to get alerted because I'm gonna piss off people here. But fuck it, I'll do it off this.
Yeah, there was.
Somebody get that barbecue.
There was. I mentioned about Corky's ribs being good, and
the JR said, "I'll agree with Zach here. If we're talking strictly ribs, they are."
But this place called Memphis Sandwich Click, who got really mad at me because remember that issue I had at Farm Burger when I almost single-handedly shut down their business through Yelp. They got like 121 star reviews in 12 hours.
Oh man.
Yeah, I fuck that place. I hope they close, honestly. Fuck them. I hope their fucking family starves. So they posted this thing and said it just said guy from Shinedown thinks Corky's has the best barbecue in Memphis. That's all it said. And it didn't even say my name, which I thought was even funnier. And I was like, oh my God. And then the crazy part is a lot of people were like, I mean, he's talking about ribs, so yeah, he's probably right. And then there's all these fucking Memphis hipsters who are just like Central Barbecue, which by the way is fucking trash. I hate Central Barbecue.
Do you think, since you are very opinionated, and not saying your opinion is right or wrong, but you are very vocal and you use your words very wisely, and you don't, well, in a way debatable. Where it's not thrown together, like there's a meaning behind how you
yeah.
Right, it is. You think because you are that person that when you do voice an opinion that might not be readily agreeable by everyone, that people assume now it's just you. It's like, oh, now Zach's the asshole.
Yeah, a lot of the times. And that's what I think. But I think like what you said, I don't think you know me and JR knows me, but like they don't realize that I don't like to be came back on. when I say something. So I'm gonna be very calculative about what I say and how I say it to just cover all my bases.
Right. Where the people that most normally 9 times out of 10 very vocal anti you, whatever that comment is, they're just that person assholes. They don't read what you're actually saying, or again,
they're waiting. You know, what I've found about my social media is people are just waiting on me to say anything they disagree with so they can't argue, and they know me and they know I'm gonna fucking engage, right? And
that is mostly it.
That's
they know
mostly
you're gonna
it. They know I'm gonna engage, and honestly, lately I've been trying to engage way less. So that thing started, and then, but here's the thing: even in the post, I didn't say every rack of Corky's ribs is the greatest rack of ribs ever. I said if you get a really, really, really good rack of Corky's ribs, there's no better rib, and I still, by the way, agree with that. From a restaurant,
you qualified it, but it's almost like it's a similar thing to the clickbait headline. It's just you pick the part that is could be controversial, and then respond to that and like, idiot, this idiot says Corky's is the best barbecue restaurant, and then that's not what I said.
That's not what I said. I said that Corky's had the best ribs, and then what was the best part was everyone was going, I mean, yeah, if he's talking about ribs. They're like, and I was like, yeah, dude, I don't think they'd have the best fucking everything. I just think that it's this certain thing that we're like, anyway. So this We Love Memphis blog posted a thing that about me too. And they posted the same thing. And it just said, dude from Shinedown thinks Corky's is the best barbecue in Memphis. And then, they posted the picture of Kanye holding the yellow piece of paper, which you can do anything with now. And it says, people not allowed to step in the 901 unless they want to catch these hands. Pete Davidson, Zach Myers, guy from Shinedown. And here's the thing. That one was funny because they hit me up beforehand and go, hey, we're going to post this. And I'm like, that's fine. And they're like, dude, you're a really good sport about it. I'm like, yeah. And then people started coming in. There was this lady and her husband who started coming at me in the comments and being like, oh, she's a Memphis and May judge. She knows.
Judge?
Yeah. And I go, okay, that's fine, man.
What the fuck does that even mean? You're Memphis. What does that
even mean? She judges barbecue contests. But then I go,
who cares?
Somebody said on there first before I did, and they go, so someone should tell them your barbecue background or like who your family is. And they were like, she was like, who? Or no, her husband got on and goes, what the fuck does that mean? And I go, dude. And then he starts like talking shit. He's like, it's easy to talk shit with bodyguards. And I'm like, dude, you weigh 40 pounds less than me. And you're like 3 inches shorter than me. I'll fucking kill you. How about that?
This guy's about to go Cain Velasquez on
I'm about to kill this guy about barbecue.
Some barbecue.
Fucking ribs. These guys are getting upset.
He's smashing you with a Traeger grill.
Let's just not forget this. The main thing here is the amount of upset that I can cause people is one of my greatest powers.
Yeah. You get them fired up.
It is my superpower to get people so fired up that they want to fight over ribs. That's my superpower. All right, go ahead.
Man, that's all. No, I love that. After this, I'll give you 20 minutes. Post something that is going to be very divisive, but made up. I just want to read the comments. I want to troll people for the next 5 hours.
I'd have to think about it.
Just do something. Yeah,
hey, do something polarizing.
Yeah, very.
That's not real.
All right. Let's do a speed round real quick. I asked some questions on Instagram, or asked the people to send us questions on Instagram. All right, this is everybody. Everybody has to answer them. And I'm going to ask this one first because I don't know what the fuck it means.
Answer so fast you think we're high on cocaine. Hold on tight because we're blowing your brain. It's a speed round, speed round.
A live missionary or ghost doggy? A live missionary or ghost doggy. I don't know what
I'm going to say live missionary because I'm assuming that means a real person.
Yeah.
Right. Or this not dead.
Or fucking a dead person doggy style.
If you're fucking a dead person, you're doing all the work. And I don't know if that's fair.
Oh my God.
Ghost. Well, from now on, it's a ghost doggy, regardless of whether it's
ghost
live or not.
doggy.
Sounds like a hot dog.
If you ever sleep with your wife and she just lays there, we tell your friends the next day, like, oh, I got some ghost doggy last night.
It's like you're going to like A&W fast food. You're like, give me the number 4 or give me an extra ghost doggy.
That's going to be Anna's way of rejecting me. I'll be like, hey, baby, let's do it. She'll be like, you're going to have to take yourself a little ghost doggy back there.
Ghost doggy.
You can have some nightmare missionary.
Nightmare missionary. Man, there's this podcast is there's no shortage of possible names for this podcast. I wrote down breastfeeding at Chili's, successful attempted murder, filthy cooter, wet cast, alive missionary, ghost doggy, or nightmare missionary. All right. Let's see. A lot of people just ask Shinedown questions on here. I'm not answering any of that shit.
Oh, I got answers for those.
What's the most irrational superstition you have? Any other time of the day I could answer this because I have a million of them.
I don't believe in superstitions.
I do. I'm actually religious and I believe in superstition.
Well, I mean, I'm religious too, but that doesn't mean I can't walk under a ladder, breaking glass, carry a black cat.
I have a black cat now.
Yeah, I noticed.
JR, what's your most?
I don't really have superstitions anymore. I used to have a sock thing when I played sports, like in basketball.
Sports.
That I had.
Got it.
It's mostly sports. I had a pair of
He has the same bunk sock he's had since the early 2000s.
That's his penalty kick sock.
That's his penalty kick
sock.
Oh, it's really crusty. All right.
But I don't really have I have enough things to worry about. I can't add superstitions on top of it.
I have so many. I kiss the clock when it's certain times. I throw salt over my shoulder if I spill salt.
What the fuck?
Do you lift your legs and cross your fingers when you go over a bridge or something?
No, I don't do any of that shit. If the bridge is gonna fall, the bridge is gonna fall. I don't think this has anything to do with it. All right. When's the next Sup clothing line dropping? I don't know. We gotta do those. We gotta do the Great Hog shirts.
Yeah.
Gotta do the Great Hog shirts. Let's see. This is all Shinedown shit. I don't want to answer this shit. My favorite so far is Alive Missionary or Ghost Doggy.
Ask me.
Congrats on the second #1 off Plan Zero.
What are you talking about?
Didn't you get another one?
No,
this week?
Somebody tweeted that it wasn't real. I don't know what that is. Are there more doors or wheels in the world?
Are there more doors or wheels
in the world? Fuck, that's a great question.
Wow, what a great question. I'm gonna say doors.
I'm gonna say wheels.
Wheels don't have to be just cars. I mean, look at all the bicycles.
It's
all
true. The gears.
Dollies.
If gears count, then there's more wheels.
Yeah.
If we're just talking about a wheel that moves something like a vehicle or a bike or something.
A gate isn't a door. So if you look at, say, the Packers Stadium, all the cars that park there, 60,000 people.
Yeah, but think about each one of those cars. If they live in a house, and that house probably has 20 doors in it. That's 4 wheels to 20 doors.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Right, but. Yeah, but then how many? Well, I have to know how many homeless people in the world they don't have a car.
Think about all the societies who don't or aren't really big car societies. Get outside of the United States.
Go to the Netherlands where everyone rides a bike.
Or like in
those are 2 wheels though. Those are 2 wheels.
Or even like third world countries.
Right.
Everyone rides a bike in the Netherlands. That's 2 wheels.
That's right. It's 2 wheels, and their home has how many doors?
If you could live in any season, year round, what season would it be?
Early fall.
Winter.
With motherfuckers, shorts, no shirt, 8 inches.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, early fall.
Early fall is where it's
early
at.
fall is good too, though. That crisp air in the morning.
It can be cool. It can warm up a little bit.
Yeah,
to still be out in shorts, but the evening is cool.
Yeah.
Have I ever destroyed a guitar on stage? I have. Justin didn't, but Chris Allen almost did for him.
Chris Allen has attempted to destroy my guitars, but I have never destroyed one.
Right.
Several times.
Yes. If you ever see the electrics I play and the huge chunks that are taken out of them, those are all Chris Allen's doing.
That new Stopgap Solution songs are good.
Yeah. They played me. They played me another one the other day that they haven't released yet.
Really good, man.
They played me another one the other day they haven't released yet. That's literally the best one they've ever done. It's so, like I to the point where I was like, I wish I wrote that. It's a pretty good song. All right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Eddie
for
Vedder
tuning
wrote
in.
it. Actually,
Eddie Vedder wrote it.
Eddie Vedder ukulele song.
Can't wait. Thanks again to J.R. Moore for being here with us today and always filling in for the Paul and to John Guarnieri. If you what's the question next week, J.R.? Give him a question.
Oh gosh,
I know it's tough.
You put me on the spot. I don't even know what I want to know. John is the Mr. Question. John
what's a good question?
Has daily questions.
This is for our fans. How about Would you rather drown or be burned alive?
Oh my God.
And why?
And why?
So morbid. Ladies and gentlemen,
yeah.
This has been episode 40 or season 2, episode 7 of the Seemingly Unknown podcast. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube, and that helps the algorithms when you do that. And thank you for everyone who listens to on all the streaming podcasts. Our audio does immensely well. We got to get this YouTube up.
Yes.
But the audio does immensely well.
Audio is doing amazing, and once we announce the
we got to do sponsor next week. We got to do
starting.
sponsorship next week.
Next week.
We're getting products sent to our addresses, so
Okay.
we need to have that before we start filming ridiculous shit.
Yeah, because it's going to be amazing. So on behalf,
I've never had a dildo this big sent to me, so I'm excited. I'm
made
excited
of chocolate
to see.
too, which is great. Don't put it in there too long because it's going to start melting.
It'll melt.
Yeah.
Is this a Cadbury dildo? Why is it leaking?
God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of J.R. Moore, John Guarnieri, and myself, if you have that question and you would like to send it to us, please send it to suplifeadvice@gmail.com. John?
suplifeadvice@gmail.com.
Again, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We appreciate it. JR, how many more Monday Night Concert series you got left? I heard you say you're ending it.
I just did 94 was last night.
So you're going to do 100?
Night. I'm going to do 100.
Wow.
That's the plan. Yep.
What are you going to do?
What are you
going to do once you have your Monday nights back?
Relax.
He's a move to Tuesday nights.
Watch May baseball.
All you can eat rib night at the commissary?
All you can eat rib night.
You should move it to Tuesdays and start over.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is show 1 of the Tuesday Night Concert series.
Every day of the week to 100 and just retire after that.
TNQS, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it.
Oh, man.
That'd be fucking hilarious, actually.
Show
Yes.
would.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Nail that subscribe button. Be sure
Suck off, man.
Be sure to watch the last 6 J.R. Moore Monday Night Concert series on Facebook. Be sure to listen to John's other podcast, Spear Talk, and all the other 9. He's got like a podcast network now, dude. It's like 90 podcasts on his network.
Dig that.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and we will see you next week. Later.
Later.